So this is part 2 of my account, I guess, of my medial cruciate ligament injury. So yeah, I was living in Cambridge. It was tough getting to work and back every day because my flatmates were, they couldn't drive in. We worked in the centre of town, so there was no option of that. And I ended up having a knee brace. So a big old thing that kind of went right up to kind of top of my thigh, down to kind of almost to my ankle. And basically I was told that, I've got to keep within a certain range of movement to protect it while it's healing, but also to prevent too much movement, but to keep the mobility there, and, prevent too much muscle wastage. So I also had some physio, was having regular physio treatment, and I was also seeing a consultant in the area who kind of was giving me ultrasound and was kind of guiding me in terms of what sort of exercises and the intensity that I should be working at. But it was the physio really that I think kind of kept me focused. I was given regular exercises that I was doing twice a day, so they took about an hour. And this is the bit that I'm really proud of myself, really, that I kind of was getting up an hour before work every day to do the exercises, and I would do them before I went to bed. So normally we'd be meeting, and before you know it, it's 11 o'clock and you're like, I'm really knackered, but I've got to do the exercises. And the way I kept myself focused was, okay, it's winter, but I've got 6 months until the wakeboarding season starts again. So I can do this, and I would watch wakeboarding videos kind of every time, about 5 minutes before I wanted to do my exercises, watch a video and get really, really psyched up and passionate about why I wanted to get back to wakeboarding and why I loved it so much. And then with that feeling in my kind of gut, the exercises weren't so hard because I knew the reason I was doing them. I wasn't doing them because I was told I had to do them. I was doing them because I wanted to go wakeboarding and I wanted to make it back for April, for the beginning of the season. So that was a real big deal for me, and I'm really proud of the dedication that I showed in that. And it did work. From that, once I got back to the point of reasonable movement, but still very little in stability, so I did a lot of balance exercises, but by then I was in the gym doing kind of things like very light squats, lunges, slowly increasing the weight once I was ready for it. So that was really great to have that focus. And it was tough being injured and not being able to go out and play sport or just kind of run around carefree. But I had a very clear focus, and I was really enjoying going to the gym because I had a place to channel my my energies and my sport kind of desire to be doing something, and I was very clear about why I was doing it. And I think ultimately that's the most important thing. You've got to feel, not just know in your head why you've got to do these exercises. Oh, I've got to do them because otherwise I won't recover, or I might not recover as well or as quickly. But you also have to, my advice would be to feel it in your gut and your heart of, I am so passionate about this sport, I love it so much, that you can almost feel it before you've stepped out onto the water or onto the pitch or whatever your sport is. And I say that's what kept me going. I had that to spur me on through every time I had to get up early and I really didn't want to. But that was the reason why I was doing it, and I felt good afterwards because not only had was sticking to my plan, but also kind of just by being active I felt better. There was blood flowing through my leg, so it meant that it wasn't as stiff as it would have been if I'd just been lazy and rested. So I would really, really advise people to, maybe if you're struggling as part of your rehab and, what's the point, I can't be bothered, I'm never going to be as good as I used to be, anyway, so what's the point? I'd really advise you to get clear about why you want to return to sport. If it is a big deal and you're really upset that you can't do your sport, why? What are the feelings you're trying to get? Ultimately, we only do anything to feel good, and we do sport to feel good. So get clear on that feeling, and then once you know what you're aiming at, it's easy to get there. If you're not really sure, you can't go in a straight line to get to your end goal if you don't know what that end point is. But if you do, it's plain sailing, and you can be clear about you are going to get there, you will succeed in the end, and it's just a case of putting the work in. And you know what, you can actually enjoy doing your exercises as well. It's not just about the end goal, it's about enjoying it in the moment. So yeah, I'd say if wherever you can, get clear on that, and it won't be so hard. Yeah.
Cheers.